Right, let's dig deeper into the topic. James Caan joining us now. He might be better known for his role as business benefactor on hit UK venture capitalist, or capital show, should I say, Dragon's Den. He's also CEO of Hamilton Bradshaw, and he's just launched a facility to help Britons to get their own place. James, thanks for coming in. Right,
pleasure.
Well, tell us how this works.
Basically, we're launching a £1 billion fund today, which is backed by Hitachi Finance. And this is an opportunity for potential house buyers to get an interest-free loan when purchasing their property. And the loan is specifically used for both stamp duty and the cost of legal fees, which is really helping the consumer at the moment, because I think the key challenge right now for consumers is they're just struggling to have enough deposit to purchase property. And if your deposit requirement today is, let's say, £15,000–20,000, that cost of stamp duty and legal fees, which could be £4,000 to £6,000, you know, is up to a 30% of maybe the deposit you require.
But if I'm looking for a house, for instance, and I saw one I liked, but I didn't find it on Look for Property, it's restricted to that, isn't it?
Well, if you see a property, all you do is you go to the agent that you saw the property through, the agent signs up to look for a property, and that gives you access to this particular product.
So what's in it for you? This can't be just an altruistic thing to get the housing market going again.
We're hoping that people like yourself who are looking for a property will encourage the agent to go on to look for a property, register the property on our website, and like any portal, then we charge an advertising fee to the agent, who then advertises, and from the fee we get from the agent...
And so that becomes also part of Look for Property growing...
Absolutely.
So that's what they get out of it.
Clearly, got it in one.
I think I got it in about 4, actually. But, OK, then what's in it for you?
Essentially, I have a stake in Look for a Property, and therefore this for me is an opportunity. Having invested in the company, I clearly want to grow Look for a Property, and the whole kind of portal market is a crowded market. Unless I've got something that's different, there's a USP, which I think clearly this is what will happen to the business. Right,
let's look at another aspect here. OK, this would be very expensive for you to do. How much is it really, how much money is Hitachi coming up with, and how much is going to be available?
The size of the fund from Hitachi is about £1 billion to start with. And so, for example, if you take a loan for £5,000, the repayments, because it's interest-free and you took it over 36 months, it's £138 a month. And therefore, because interest rates are so low right now, the cost of subsidy between ourselves, the agent, and LMS, who do the processing, actually is not a huge amount of money. So we've clearly budgeted that from the ad revenues that we generate, we can clearly subsidise the interest-free component so that everybody makes a profit.
Right. Then let's talk about another aspect. The British housing market at the moment is characterised by one thing, which is we're seeing prices level off, stabilising, because there's not enough supply. That's the issue, isn't it, right now? So to get people to sell their properties, this doesn't help them to do that. It only helps them to buy their properties.
Do you know, I don't agree with you. I don't think it's just about supply. I think it's about the availability of the deposit. All the research that we did showed us that right now, because building societies, the loan-to-value component has changed significantly. Where you were getting 95 or maybe 100%, today it's around the 85% mark. Now, 15%, even on a £300,000 property, could be as much as £45,000.
James, just some breaking news coming out of German Finance Minister Pierre Steinbrück. He says that the banks must pass on the rate cuts, interest rate cuts the European Central Bank has instituted to companies, and also saying an exit from the stimulus packages out there at the moment would be nonsense, saying Germany has no general credit crunch as well. Out of all the major European economies, of course, Germany had the lowest uptake in credit cards as well. Right, we're still with James Caan. He's one of Britain's most renowned entrepreneurs. Before the break, we were discussing whether now is the right time to buy a property in the UK, but is it also the right time to start your own business? But first of all, these comments coming through from Germany and that finance minister, they're talking about the passing on of the rate cuts. We're not seeing that happen here in the UK, and lenders still do have a huge margin what they're borrowing at and what they're actually offering mortgages at.
I mean, Rish, as a private equity guy, I'm borrowing the whole time, and I know the institutions very well. The problem is, whilst we're in a very low interest rate environment, the problem is, as entrepreneurs, we don't see any benefit, because the real cost of capital right now is still anywhere between 5 to 6%. So people are thinking, if base rates are so low, then why are we still paying that? And it's because the banks are charging such huge margins to recover some of their losses that we as entrepreneurs are not seeing any benefit in a low interest rate environment.
Did you actually have trouble raising money as well?
Well, when you're raising money, the numbers have to add up. And if the cost of capital is so high, it's not that I can't get it. It's the price that's being offered doesn't mean you can make any money.
But I would say it would be the same price as it was, let's say, 2 years ago.
The problem
is that you're just seeing how much the banks are borrowing it for. That's
yeah,
the thing.
I think as an entrepreneur, I think we all want to make a profit, but I don't think the bank should be profiteering in this environment.
Well, I could say that's exactly what you do in Dragon's Den. When you get somebody who wants, what, 5% of their company for 100,000, they normally sell out at about 30%.
Rich, do you want to take a risk investing in a dog treadmill then?
Is that your best ever investment?
It certainly is. No.
A dog treadmill,
yeah,
everybody, yeah.
That's right, yes. No, I invested in a lady that came up with an idea where we think, in Britain today, dogs are just getting too fat. And, in a way of kind of easing their health, needs, we've designed a treadmill for a dog. So the owner sits on the couch with his Heineken, the dog's on the treadmill, you're watching Bloomberg. I mean, what better opportunity could you have? And it's selling really well.
Where's it selling best?
We have probably our biggest contract is with the Guide Dogs Association. Where
you can understand that.
Yes, and then France is a big market, Sweden's a big market, we're selling in Ireland, Spain, the UK.
Because they're couch potatoes everywhere.
We got couch potatoes and fat dogs, basically.
Right. Okay. Now, what else has been getting? What's grabbing your attention at the moment? And how difficult is it to be launching a business in the current environment?
I mean, I think, for example, just literally today, I've just launched a chain of health clubs today.
Don't we have enough?
No, I think what I've
launched... What about Mr. Bannatyne? Surely he'd be upset.
Well, funnily enough, he was the first call I got because I think he's also interested in selling a few to me because my product is going to be a budget product. So I'm sort of taking the EasyJet model. I'm launching a chain where the membership will be $19.95. And I think you can launch businesses, but today I think the key thing that you need is a value proposition. I think luxury and premium is probably a much harder business to be in. But if you're launching products or services today, where you're targeting on value, where in the current economic environment, consumers are looking for that better deal. And I think the chain that I'm launching today, New You, at $19.95, I think really hits the nail on the head.
You got that plug in twice there,
Did
James.
I?
Yeah.
Do you know, I didn't notice that.
No. Okay, when you look at, like the dog treadmill and you look at health clubs, what is the common thing you're looking for here in any business? Is it just down to a solid book, a solid business plan? What is it?
With me, Rich, actually, it's not that. When I invest in a business, the key focus for me is the person. Ultimately, businesses succeed because the passion of the entrepreneur. And, for example, my investment in a dog treadmill, although the idea is not the greatest idea, but I think the individual that I back, she's amazing, and she has made that business succeed. And I think, so every time somebody walks through the door in Dragon's Den, I'm always focusing on, is this an individual that's going to make a difference? So for me, it's always the person.
James, you didn't get the name of your health club in, so quickly.
It's New You, the new club for budget membership.
That's it. That's good. Thank you very much indeed. James Caan there.